Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do another special video, and it's kind of tied in with a video I did recently entitled The Guitar Marketing Nonsense, where, marketing does a good job with separating you from your money, and a lot of times that separation, as far as the amount that's taken away from you, is really unjustified. So, I had one of my subscribers, and this is a really good question, especially for beginners like himself. He said, do you think that a cheaper guitar is harder to play? And answer to that question is, it tends to vary because it makes sense to equate cheap guitars with hard to play and just don't sound good. It makes sense to think that way. But, we live in an era now where, well, let me just say, when I was growing up, that really applied. I remember the Tasco guitars, and I kid you not, the action was so high on those guitars, I could take my other finger and put it up under the strings and along with the fret, between the strings and the fret. And I kid you not, they were awful to play, and they were very difficult to play. But no more better of a time in this era where it's a good time to learn how to play a guitar, because the manufacturers that make guitars now, the ones that don't cost a lot of money, they trying to compete with the guitars that cost a lot of money. And a good example of that, as far as guitar company, is Jay Terser. Just out of a fluke, I think. I might have been watching YouTube years ago, and I seen a guy playing one. I decided to buy one, fell in love with it, bought like 8 of them. And they all deliver. They felt good. They sound good. So a lot of these small companies are now trying to seriously compete with the big companies. So don't be fooled by the lack of recognition from a music company that they're cheap and don't buy their guitars. Because the bottom line is this. It's not about the guitar. It's about you. Can you play? Because when you play and become a good guitar player, you can play anything, whether it's a $200 guitar, $3,000 guitar. So don't put so much emphasis on the guitar, because the guitar does not make the player. The player makes the guitar. And the majority of the guitars that I bought, electric guitars, I didn't spend a lot of money because I didn't feel I needed to at the point when I became a good guitar player. I know it's a psychological boost when you go out and buy a $2,000 or $3,000 Les Paul and it's looking good and people like admiring you and all that. That's wonderful, but that does nothing really for your actual technical playing. That it might motivate you to play more since you got, the top of the line, the click approved guitar. But, that's about it. And as far as, again, the answer to that question, it tends to vary. I don't discount the fact that the guitar didn't cost that much, that now I equate that with it's going to be hard to play. Because I'm going to tell you something, and I thought it was just me at first. For years and years, when I played Fender Stratocasters, they were rough on my hands. So I'm like, why is my hands cramping up and I can't play the F chord? And I'm thinking it was me. And then I talked to other people, and they said I'm having the same problem. And I think it's something about their setup as far as the bridge, because I even changed the strings to the lightest gauge. I'm like, maybe it's the strings are just too tight in the tension. Even with the slinkiest 0.8 strings on there, it was still rigid, and they didn't have that slinky feel. And that was all about the setup. It had nothing to do with me or even the strings. It was the bridge. I think the relationship between the bridge and the neck. So there you have it. A top-of-the-line guitar maker where their guitars are not comfortable to play. When I started playing Jay Terser and Ibanez guitars, I fell in love with them because they were easy on the hands. I can literally play for hours those two guitars effortlessly and without any discomfort. I couldn't get through playing a Fender Stratocaster through just a gig set, and I was like, I'm not doing this no more. So I'm going to wrap this video up, but I guess, again, the answer to the question is, it's not about the price of the guitar as far as making it difficult to play. It's just really the setup, because I did mention this and I mentioned this. It would make sense in some instances if that's the case, because the guy that's setting up the $100 guitar is probably getting paid $6, $7, $8. The guy that's setting up a $2,000 guitar to come out of the factory line is probably getting making $20 an hour. So that makes a difference too. But don't solely rely on because you think it's an inexpensive guitar that's going to be difficult to play. Find one that's suitable for you, because everybody's physical preference is totally different. What might be comfortable for me might not be comfortable for the next guy, and vice versa. So on that note, I'm going to sign off and hope that this video was helpful. Till next time, thanks for watching.